All right. Sorry in advance for the noise. If you can hear anything in the background, that's just my air conditioner going. I do not like to be hot when I sleep. Funny thing. But anyway, I know I haven't posted for a while. This is my first video back, and I thought, what better movie than If Beale Street Could Talk? Now, this movie is actually in my top five of my personal favorite movies of all time. I won't go as far as say greatest movies of all time because it's such a personal thing. It's an it's an adaptation. I'm gonna stop using that word. I don't feel comfortable using that word. No, but it's an adaptation from a book written by James Baldwin. Google him if you don't know who that young man is, or not young man. If you don't know who that guy is, I feel like he did so much for the black community. Thing about him is having somebody as articulate as he was, being able to have the balls. Somebody articulate as him having the balls to speak on what he saw going on in our community. It's 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 I can't even find a word for it. It's more valuable than gold itself. Believe it or not, having somebody who does the opposite of what I do, as far as stuttering, and who can uh, paint a picture with words and talk about something that's real and that's gripped a whole group of people in a country, priceless, or worth the way to go, however you want to put it. Yeah, the story takes place in the 70s in New York. Google that too, because something happened during that time. It's called white flight. Um, it's a generic way of saying all the wealth left a certain area. So there's a vacuum effect, and that area suffers greatly because of it. Um, and I could be wrong about it. There's nothing wrong with admitting that maybe you got something a little off. That's just the way I see it. Yeah, I'm not gonna paint that, but that's just the way I see it. Um, my dog is over there having a fit on my bed. But yeah, that's just the way I see it. Um, but it follows a young couple uh, as they embark on this new journey of life together. Yeah, I didn't mean to sound so corny, but yeah, it's a young couple, and the young lady winds up getting pregnant. It just follows them on their journey, but along the way, the young man winds up getting accused of rape. Um, but the way the movie's set up, they make it seem like he didn't do it. Now, I did get a chance to read the audiobook, and they definitely softened the story up, I guess, to uh, make it easier for people to get into the story. I don't know. I don't know why they would soften it up, because the young lady's sister in the book was hardcore. I mean, she went hard in the paint. Um, and the young man's father winds up committing suicide in the book because of the added stresses, well, the stresses of taking care of another mouth, and things just not working out. Um, it fails in some places. The movie fails in some places. There are some low spots, such as the acting from the accuser, the one who was accusing the young man of raping her. It's it's not good. She also saw this actress in Snowfall. If you want to get a reference, I guess she just seems a little off. And also, let me see who. Oh yeah, Regina King is in this. I guess that's what would be the biggest named actress in this film. I want to say she seems a little off too to be the mother, but she's a good actress. I'm not going to take that away from her. I just feel like she doesn't necessarily fit that role. I feel like she see, the thing is, I feel like they were looking for somebody who could be a strong leading role, and which she can, but I don't feel like that character needed to be a strong solo artist. I feel like that character needed to blend into the family a little bit more. She's such a strong actress and a strong presence. It made it seem like she was leading the family, and it's like, I don't know about that one. I don't know if that character, because the book doesn't read like that. They change little things. Um, some things do overlap. I think they stay true. They stay. The movie stays true to the book up until the part. There's a scene when the young lady has to reveal that she's pregnant to her family and to uh, the young man's family. I think the movie stays true to the book up until that part. After that, it starts getting way softer. Um, there's so much good in this movie that I'm nitpicking over, not necessarily small things, but things that wouldn't kill the movie. Like the bad acting of the accuser doesn't kill the movie, and the fact that her mother just doesn't feel Regina King just doesn't feel right to play her mother. That doesn't kill the movie because Regina King is such a good actress. Apologize. Um, I'm trying to see if I can get a better overview of it. It's not an overly complex story. It's a love story through and through, and I think it's the way that the actors are shot. It's the setting. It's the mood, all that stuff, and of course the little details, the pauses that the actors give out, the facial expressions that the actors are giving out. All that adds up. That adds flavor. It's like a broth. All those things add up to make the broth much more flavorful. It's a great watch. A little tough, but it's a great watch. Now, if you happen to be in the church and you get to that part when she has to tell the young man's family that she's pregnant, oh man, that dialogue in there is something. It's a rare find. I'm telling you, that dialogue. I felt like I felt like somebody was cutting me with a knife when she was talking. Man, her words were sharp and lethal. Man, that's what makes it so good. The back and forth, everything. They were fighting without even throwing a blow. It was so good. Um, even even a simple conversation between old friends. The young man winds up running into an old friend of his, and he's telling him about just coming from prison, not not knowing that this young man will wind up in there. The young man only breaks two times in the movie in two different circumstances, but ultimately he comes back uh, to his grounded position and shows nothing but tenderness to her. And another low spot of the movie would have to be the young lady's. I don't even think it's her fault. I think it's the director's fault, probably. She acts overly timid throughout the whole movie. I would have liked to have seen a better arc. So she starts off timid, gets a little less, starts off timid, little less, little less, little less, little less. Even if it's a slower arc, and she's still a little less right at the top, and then she just starts coming down just a little bit to be more assertive or have more of a presence as a person rather than somebody who's timid and scared. She had a whole kid. She's a single mother. She's way stronger than what they portrayed her as. Um, But yeah, it's one of the better love stories that I've ever seen. But it also takes it. It also, man, it also takes an opportunity to look at how uh, how African Americans were treated and are treated. Um, it's not eye opening because it, it's been happening for so long. But see, that's the thing. The lines are getting blurred. The lines are definitely getting blurred when it comes to certain situations like this. It's not clear cut black and white. Uh, literally, it's not. It's not like that. It's hmm. I'm not articulate enough. I've said that many times. The best way I can put it is you're gonna have to take things situation by situation. If you lump everything together, everything looks bad. But if you separate it and take it case by case, situation by situation, and look at it, you'll see. Okay, I see what happened here. This was all emotional based, and the two individuals just happened to be two different races. Okay, this was uh, pure murder, and it was based on different races. You see, you see the difference. Both situations have different races involved, but both stem from different places. One is an emotional based eruption of anger, and another one is an emotional based eruption of anger based on race. Two different things, but it can easily get lumped in together because of the race. I'm not a philosopher. Uh, I don't have any answers for anything. I just know this movie is a great escape in a time like now.